Just a small heads up before we start this video, we always have called this place Bolsa Chica, and it's just kind of a nickname we have for it. But if you look it up, it's actually known as Huntington Harbor. We just wanted to clear up that confusion. And with that, let's start the video.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I am Dustin.
And I'm V from Dad Adventure Life.
Yes, and we are at one of our favorite kayaking spots in Southern California, Bolsa Chica. And today is also a very big day because our good buddy Aaron over here picked himself up a new kayak, and it's a light tackle just like what we're using. So that is going to be fun. But one of the good things about this spot is that if you don't have a kayak, there are a couple of options. There is OEX that is right over the wall here. And also there is OC Paddle Sports over on this side, just in case, they're sold out or whatever it may be.
This is our one of our favorite spots in Newport. We've been here, this is our, 100th time?
Oh, it feels like a million.
So we decided to make a video about this place. So we're gonna show you like some of the route that we take, some of the options that you can do, how beautiful it is out here. We are a little bit later in the evening. We usually go a little bit earlier, but the traffic is horrendous.
Oh,
but
so bad.
Either way, it's gonna be beautiful. So we can't wait to show you one of our favorite spots here, okay? You guys ready?
One of the only downsides to Huntington Harbor is the parking situation. You are parking along the side of Pacific Coast Highway, so sometimes strapping and unstrapping those kayaks can get kind of scary. Also, it can be a little bit of a walk to the launch. Our light tackles weigh right around 75 pounds, so a kayak cart is absolutely necessary to get down to the water. You also need to get your kayaks over this wall, but after that, you are pretty much good to go. Like we said earlier, this is one of our favorite places to go kayaking in Southern California, so this video is actually made up out of several trips. There are going to be a lot of people randomly appearing and disappearing over the course of the video. One of the things that we love so much about Bolsa Chica is that it is full of these little waterways. It kind of reminds you of the canals in Italy. We typically run a pretty similar route, but as you can see, there are a ton of options here. If you're renting, this is a pretty good track to follow, and as long as you don't go too slow, you should be back in plenty of time. With all of the details covered, let's get underway. If you want to follow the same route that we are doing in this video, you're going to be leaving the beach and making a left. Sometimes it's hard to control the weather, but if you can visit on a day with little to no wind, you will be in for a great time. Not only will it make paddling easier, but still days make for some awesome reflections on the smooth water. You will be crossing under 4 bridges along the route, and the first one is only 150 yards into the paddle. Even though we have never used it before, there is another beach at the end of this straightaway. It might be another launch option, but the parking here isn't a whole lot better. After you pass that beach, you will be curving off to the right and then heading towards the second bridge of the paddle. We did our best not to violate any speed limits as we made our way under the bridge and towards some very impressive yachts. If you're visiting during the summer, you are really going to enjoy the bridges because it gives you a quick second to get out of the sun. Not long after passing the bridge, you will once again be curving off towards the right. You don't typically see a lot of these big boats in motion on these waterways. You're going to be encountering way more kayaks and paddleboards, but you should definitely keep your eyes peeled for them. And this is especially true for this large channel that we're coming up to because it has a lot more boat traffic.
If this is your first time here, it can get a little bit confusing because there are lots of different waterways that you can choose from. And eventually you're going to come to this massive equivalent of a water main street. And if you want to do the same route that we're doing, you're going to make your way straight across to this to the left of this castle-looking house. And there's also a beach right there where you can park, take a snack, take a break, and just enjoy your day.
If you plan on beaching your kayaks or paddleboards here, you need to head to the far left side of the beach.
So this beach here is where we usually stop and take a break, eat some snack. Yep, apple, healthy food. It's pretty cool because it's land. It's healthy food. We're not that healthy, but I like apple. Sometimes. But yeah, this is a cool little beach that you can stop by for quick breaks before heading on further.
Yeah. And if you have a little folks with you, I don't know if you can see it with the GoPro distortion, there is a playground way in there, and there's also a protected swimming area here. It's roped off, so you don't have to worry about getting run over by a boat or anything. Also nice. And it's good for snacks.
I believe we might be wrong, but I believe there is a playground, so I believe there might be some restrooms. We'll double check on that, so you can use it if you need some restroom. That's so stupid.
After a nice little break, it was time to continue on.
This is Sparta!
We are quickly closing in on the 1 mile mark, but we still have about 2/3 of our paddle left to go. If you're new to kayaking, you might want to save your energy because you probably remember me mentioning the wind earlier, and there is a good chance you're going to encounter it in a little bit. This side of the harbor is a little bit busier, and even though you're probably still not going to see some massive yachts rolling around, there's a good chance you might see some Duffies out and about. We are now approaching the 3rd bridge along the route, and if you need another break, there is great news because here you'll find another beach that you can hop out and take a break on. If you're not a strong swimmer, we definitely recommend wearing a life jacket. All of the waterways here are between 15 and 20 feet deep to let those big boats sail through. And one more interesting fact about the area is that the 5 islands here are all man-made. They were formed in 1963 at a cost of $200 million. And all of the islands also have names. There's Admiralty, Davenport, Gilbert, Humboldt, and Trinidad.
We've come to yet another multi-directional intersection, and if you want to do the loop we're doing, you're going to make a left at this delightful little gazebo.
It can get a little bit confusing here because there are tons of these little offshoots, but after making the left, you're going to be following another curve around to the right. Even with having this video as a reference, it's still a great idea to run a tracker like Strava so you don't get lost along the way. We'd spotted a lot of fish in the harbor before, but one thing we hadn't seen were jellyfish. At first I thought it was a plastic bag and I was about to pick it up. It's probably a good thing that I didn't try to, because if you saw our video about Biscayne National Park, you'll know that I don't have a good relationship with stinging things. If not, click in the upper corner to see that.
So this bridge over here, the water can get pretty high up. So it depends on where you're going, you might not be able to get through. Although I don't think, Dustin, I don't think we ever have any problem going through there. I think the last time it was so high that we have to lay on our stomach and then crawl through it. I think that was the highest that it ever get to. Most of the time, we don't have any problem though. But yeah, just keep in mind when you go through here, you might not be able to make it through, but you just have to really lay really flat.
It was definitely an adventure for sure.
It's fun. It's definitely fun.
The way that the winds usually work here is the first 3/4 of the paddle is a tailwind, and once we round this corner right here, it's gonna be headwinds for most of the way back. So I wish that it was a little more calm sometimes, but you're definitely going to get your workout in the second half of the paddle. So don't use up all your energy on the way out.
Yeah, this is where it got real. Did I say I'm not supposed to say shit? This is where things got real. You gotta work on those arms.
These last couple straightaways are why we recommend going on as calm of a day as possible. The straightaway that we just turned onto is a little more than 4/10 of a mile long, and if you're fighting some fierce winds, you're going to be in for quite a battle. But that didn't keep us from cleaning up some trash that we found along the way. I think the hardest part about this section if you're visiting on a windy day is that you need to keep paddling. Kayaks like to turn sideways into the wind, and if you stop paddling for just a second, the kayak will turn sideways and then start blowing backwards, which means you're going to lose a lot of your progress. As we paddled on and said goodbye to Felicia, we couldn't help but keep our eyes on the end of the straightaway. You're going to be looking for a pretty massive brown house, and that is where you will be turning right. Once again, you're going to need to be watching out for boat traffic because we're heading back into that main channel. Almost as soon as you get into the channel, you're going to be crossing over to the other side. This time you're going to be looking for yet another super snazzy house with a equally snazzy yacht out front. It's this house right here, and when you see it, you're going to make a left. We are now officially on the home stretch, and we are only about a quarter mile from the beach that we launched from. The only challenge is that this last straight faces the same direction that that super windy straight faced. So if you were fighting the wind there, you're gonna be fighting it all the way to the finish line. And that is one complete lap at Huntington Harbor, or as we know it, Bolsa Chica.
All right, well, that is going to do it for our video about kayaking at Bolsa Chica.
So if you have your own kayaks, you're gonna have to put it back in the car. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but if you rent, then you can just drop it off here. Overall, the whole loop that we did is only, I think we strapped it to about,
3.1 miles.
So it's not that much, but feel like it was a long time because of the headwind.
Yeah, the headwind will definitely make you be like, yeah, that's got to be about 5 miles or so. Not so much.
But we love this spot. This is one of our favorite spots to do. It's like calm water, most of the time calm water. You got really pretty, like all the cool mansions that to look at.
Yeah, that's crazy. Makes you question your life choices.
And then we have a few other spots that we really like. So we'll bring them. We'll show you guys later, okay?
Yeah, if you enjoyed that, let us know because kayak season is here. High five. And we're gonna hit a few other local Southern California spots and we'll do that. So, all right, catch you in the next one.